Looking at the COVID-19 again, which goes to point out to the weak budget and financial controls, the amount that we appropriated as a county for COVID-19 was 602 million. And out of this amount, 280 million was drawn from our own county resources or county initiatives. This is the amount that the county assembly appropriated through supplementary budget. Then the county utilized 312 million, which represents 52% of the 602 million on COVID mitigation as of 31st July 2020. Now, the Auditor General actually queried the whole expenditure of 312 million, and there were, the Auditor General specifically stated that the reason for querying that amount was inadequate support documents.
In terms of the general health sector report, some of the things or the salient issues that we have analyzed from this report include unsupported expenditure amounting to 700 million, and we have the opinion that if these funds were properly supported, it will go next in mind in terms of even employing more staff in Nakuru County, because as we speak, we have a shortage of staff to the tune of around 250 nurses for Nakuru County. So if these resources are properly utilized and properly supported, if they're not lost, then they could be used to employ more staff to be able to the gap in terms of staffing and hence improve service delivery for Nakuru County. The other thing that we have noted is the fact that there were irregular expenditure that are noted within that financial period of time that we analyzed this document to the tune of around 143 million Kenya shillings. And being a county that experiences some gaps in some of service delivery and even staffing, we are seeing community health volunteers playing a big role in terms of improving service delivery at the community level. There are equipments and there are materials that were actually delivered in Nakuru County, but they were not really captured in the special audit report for Nakuru County, and therefore that follows that the staff that was supposed even to man those equipments perhaps could not be traced in the specific documents that were shared.
One of the key findings from our analysis is that there have been slow implementation of county budgets, partly because of delayed exchequer releases. When we looked at the 3 financial years, we realized that over 1 billion of the funds that the county budgeted for, independent of the national government to transfer to the counties, was not transferred. And that meant that there are some programs and projects that the county had planned to implement, but they were not able to implement due to lack of funds. But also the analysis revealed that the county is not maximizing its full potential in terms of collecting local revenue. We have realized that about 12 billion shillings cumulatively over the 3 years that we analyzed remains uncollected. And there are many issues that may have contributed to that under collection, but then we feel that considering that the health sector budget for at least one of the financial years, 1920, was about 6 billion, if the county was able to collect all the revenue, then it would have enough resources, for instance, to provide services to Kenyans, to the residents of Nakuru, health services to the residents of Nakuru.
There are issues of accountability that we feel is just an issue of either negligence or not strengthening systems, as it were. When, for example, the Auditor General says there were workshops that were conducted, but he could not get copies of the original attendance lists, that speaks to a level of, I would, for lack of better word, impunity. Because by the time the Auditor General makes it an audit issue, he has requested for this information to the level of satisfying herself that actually that document was not availed. We are saying Nakuru County, we need to improve budget transparency. As it is currently, not all budget information is available to citizens. The County Budget Transparency Survey has shown that Nakuru has been performing below average, with 44 out of 100 points in terms of budget transparency.
From what has been shared here, you realize that quite a number of principles are not being applied, and it is therefore the duty of citizens to begin being actively involved particularly utilizing the report of the Auditor General to hold especially the county assembly to account. It's clear from the conversation we've had today that the county assembly of Nakuru has not taken any step, to discuss. You have gathered from the presentations that some of these things are quite, demonstrate a lack of seriousness, both on the part of the Assembly and the Executive.
The audit queries are actually recurring. They repeat every other financial year. For example, the under-collection and non-collection of local revenue was a recurring audit query. The lack of supporting documents and violation of financial regulations. And I'll show you later in a table how this actually manifested. So these are some of the queries that recurred year after year. And cumulatively, the Office of the Auditor General flagged more incidences of under-collection and non-collection of local revenue compared to other audit queries.